The art, I feel, is a vehicle to help me understand life and myself. I did a painting degree. While I was there, I was thinking, what am I going to do when I leave the college with painting pictures? The college was one aspect of me creating, but the Black Art Gallery gave me a focus on how to use art and what reason I would be doing art. This piece now is from the concept of male and female coming together and that harmony and that unity piece. So half is male, half is female, represents, yeah? And then I've got the hands in a kind of prayer and then the ankh in the middle. So the whole piece is a spiritual thing of the union of the male and female. An organisation called OBALA, which stands for the Organisation for Black Arts Advancements and Learning Activities. They created this space called the Black Art Gallery. Shaka Dedi and Kadina was the two that I understand to be the founders of OBALA, who created the Black Art Gallery. The Black Art Gallery that just launched, and I went on search to find the Black Art Gallery, which was in Finsbury Park. Great show of many black artists. I'm really impressed. I got talking with, it was Kadina first, I think, and then I got talking with Shaka, and they invited me to come up and do some things with them. The Black Art Gallery was instrumental in shaping me in terms of how I look at art and how I produce art. One of the symbols when I was at the Black Art Gallery, that Adam had made a poster with an Adinkra chart on it, and one of the symbols that I kind of latched onto on that chart was, I could see it automatically, yeah? And I kind of latched onto that symbol and I started using it in my artwork. It's an old piece of wood, it's got cracks in it. Yeah? I started off carving it flat with the intention it's going to be standing up the right way. When I'm getting now to displaying it, I'm seeing that with that crack, yeah, that says something is not quite right. This person is off kilter, yeah, it's off kilter. So that's why it's ended up upside down or falling over. It's because he's been through some things, yeah, so that's why he's up this way. Yeah. But there is some things in there that indicate that he has got some foundation to be stable, even though he's upside down. There were themed shows that was open to artists to put work into. One was called Heroes and Heroines, and I decided to do a print of Jamaican heroes. So it was Nanny, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle. So I had it made up like it was in the hills. There's American presidents. I did that as a painting, but with our Jamaican heroes. One of the major shows is the Generation to Generation show. The Generation to Generation show was an installation of 2 front rooms. One represented my parents' front room and one represented my generation front room. So in the 2 front rooms, they had different focuses. Our parents, it was that they would have a Jesus Christ Last Supper type of picture. We had the record players playing the Jim Reeves, the Nat King Cole tunes. We had the paraffin heater. This is a collaborative work with, I think it was about 6 artists maybe. Our generation front room now, we had the big poster, Menelik's poster of Blood I Go Run, that was on the wall. We had Shaka Dedi had done a big frame piece with an image of Kadena, a beautiful black sister, her image being repeated like 9 times. Proud of that show because I felt that I was instrumental in it. A lot of things that came through me ended up in it. It was seeing the Adinkra symbols at the Black Art Gallery and seeing other artists using these symbols, making me say, oh yeah, I can understand the communication that's going on. Whereas at art school, half the artists in there were just doing abstract things which I didn't understand what they were doing. I realised that when I was at art school, I was reacting to things that was coming on me. So maybe a subject matter might describe racism or something like that, because I can feel it reflecting on me. At Black Art Gallery, I felt more of part of a community, and I was engaging with the community to create things that I felt would be empowered by. At the art school, I did a painting degree, but I went and spent time in the printmaking, and I did, as part of my degree show, a lino print series, which was the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, the message. I illustrated that using lino prints. For those who don't know what that is, that's the don't push me because I'm close to the edge, I'm trying not to lose my head. I'd shown Chaka that the gallery, and he was quite impressed with that series of prints that I had done. Being around people at the Black Art Gallery and wanting to know more of my cultural heritage, 89, I decided I needed to go to Ghana. I was born here in London, and my parents are Jamaican. So in the 80s I went to Jamaica. I went to Ghana in December, and I think I spent 3 months there. So that was my second time of being around an environment where it was just black people. Influence of Ghana of my artwork was I saw how in Ghana symbols was all around the place, like the Adinkra symbols and also proverbs and sayings. I was looking to buy some things to bring back to London with me. I went to one stall, and this is where the artists are actually making it as well. So I bought something from there. I went to the next one. One of the last places that I went into, the brother showed me the carving, a male and a female in a circle making up a one face. And he described the meaning of the male and the female coming together making one. I said, oh, it's interesting, yeah, I really like it. But boy, I've spent off my money, and you can see I've got loads of bags. I spent, but I don't even know who I'll be buying it for, and I left it. And when I came back to London, this thing is in my head. It's in my head, and it's in my head, and it's in my head. And then I think the following year, I realised that I should have bought it for myself. And I started carving using this male and female coming together to make one. You know, this unity kind of symbol and balanced symbol. This is a lino print of that conceptual thing. So I had done this as a carving as well. Again, you can see the hands, the male and the female side coming together, and the ankh in the middle. So that's what I was I'm expressing, but also I'm adding to this piece now, this side here, which you can start seeing that this eye and this eye make up another face, and this side as well make up another face. So there's other ancestral things that's going on that helps build up this unity and this balancing thing that's going on. The halo and thing, all those things have kind of spiritual kind of indications. At school, as in primary school or infant school, I drew. When I went to secondary school, I remember doing things like copying comics. So going to friends' houses and we sit down and we copy the comic characters. You know, I see that as something outside of school that actually makes me aware that, oh yeah, I was interested in art, because not every young child was there copying comic books. Yeah. When you choose your subjects, I chose art. I chose design and technology, technical drawing. I tried to get an apprenticeship doing draftsmanship. I didn't get it. And so I went back to school to do the sixth form, and then I came out of sixth form and I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I had visited a friend that had gone to art school, Denzel Forrester. He was at Central School of Art and Design. That helped me to say, yes, I would like to go to that school, because he was there already. You could say this is a symbol of the creator. Balance and harmony is that you have night, you have day, you have sun, you have moon, you have male, you have female. Life comes from these balances, and so the sun is representing a energy, the moon representing another energy. There is something else that we can see with that is not our eyes, and so a plant growing out of that place, as in being fruitful from that place, is the concept I'm trying to put into this. And the lips blowing are the concept of the life-giving force. And so there's many creation stories where life was blown into man. So man was made out of clay and then life was blown into it, and then it became a living thing. So the importance of breath is part of my influence. At the time, I was doing some yoga stuff, and so Alvin was teaching me yoga and telling me about the importance of breath, and I'm understanding, yeah, breath is so important to me. Yeah, no, I have to celebrate breath. Eyes closed is just about symbolizing contentment, harmony, meditation, and being inner. There was a series of paintings that I did which were of women's faces. It's part of the series that I did which was women with natural hair, and that series of the natural hair is that the women of my era, age group, saying that the natural hair may be too much trouble to plait hair, even though that's what they've gone through when they were growing up, and that young children of 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds are going to a hairdresser and they're getting extensions put in their hair and them kind of things, and it's like, no. I'm asking why. I'm saying the actual bonding of a woman plaiting her daughter's hair and thing, I feel that's an important bonding experience that should be happening, and if we give up something, we need to know why we're giving it up, or know we're moving on to something else, rather than just moving on to vanity of we want the girl's hair to look straight, or I don't have no time to plait my daughter's hair. The images may help people to get into conversations. The image here of women is about images of women that I feel have just got a natural look about them. There is Western imagery of women. I don't want to criticise a particular woman, but we've got models that have straight hair, the straight nose and the thin lips. That image has been sold to us for a long time, and I'm somebody that can present something different. Working on the concept of being balanced and unity, which I think I generated through the experience in Ghana. The term Sankofa, which is a Ghanaian term, learning from the past values that we need for the future. I'm using that as a ground to stand on to produce my art. I'm looking culturally how things have helped build me to be where I am, and how those things can help build me to be greater than what I am. Things are moving around me that take me into places that help influence me. I went to a sculpture exhibition at Wimbledon's Kanazari Park, which is Zimbabwean stone sculptures, and they had artists there working in the park doing some of these stone sculptures live. I was well impressed. I had some stones left over from a garden that I was creating for somebody. I always wanted to make something with the sandstones. I had like 6 blocks of sandstone. I was already doing wood carvings. Let me try some stone carving. And then after seeing the Zimbabwean stone sculptures, I said, oh, I have to do something, I looked in my garden and I took up some breeze block that I had in the garden, and I started to carve into the breeze block just to experiment, just to test. This is what I created. So I was just carving a hole in the stone to see how I would smooth it off and how it would fit. I was doing an abstract thing. And so I'd done like part of it, and then I decided actually I needed to do a face. I created this piece. It's a male, but also in it there is the female aspect as part of the piece. This now is what is the influence of the Zimbabwean stone things. They leave part of the stone, rough. and part smooth, and it's like, wow, that contrast of rough and smooth, and how it works. After doing this, I kind of needed to do a female, so I created this one, which is the female to go with the male. And again, even though it is a female, it's got a male aspect to her. This now is based on Benin bronzes of a queen from the Benin dynasty. We always need balance, and there's things that we do that help celebrate balance, which I didn't know, even though I was around it. So say for instance, in Jamaica, we may pour libation, yeah? So if you're gonna have a drink of rum, you're gonna throw down someone on the ground, yeah? So I've grown up with that, but I'm not aware of what that can mean. We just do it. So now being part of the Black Art Gallery now makes me conceptualize what it is, and seeing other African people all around the world doing this same thing, and actually then I can even perceive it onto Britain and saying, well, actually they've got forms of things that we do. Why have we made what we do negative? From working in carvings, I understand that I'm doing things based on energies uniting, balance and harmony. In the carvings, that's what I'm trying to create, symbolism around those issues. So I did carvings, and then I did liner prints and paintings of the carvings. And the reason why I'm doing paintings of the carvings or liner prints of the carving is that in the painting I can add more things that will help enhance the symbolism that's in the carving. So in the carving, I might not paint water, but the water, the sun, the wind, these are the elements of nature that symbolize harmony. And so in the painting now, hopefully I'm able to portray it more, so it gives another aspect to the viewer to feel. When I have water in an image, there is an energy that water expresses, and an energy that we can tap into. Also wind, all these elements are involved in helping us create balance. I started this piece in Jamaica, and I drew out the piece. It was to do a carving. I haven't made the carving as yet. It's about this trinity being three, and then put concepts of plant life, kente, wealth, and then a couple of Radinka symbols. These things are me drawing on a cultural reference, but also drawing that all these things are what make life. 2005, I got involved in community driving. So drive a minibus to take people to day centres and children to school and trips and stuff like that. I then got communicating with the elderly people and started to realise that some of the elderly people were feeling isolated. One of the elder women said to me, her grandnephew is getting married and that she wasn't going to go to the wedding. I said, oh, why you ain't going? And she said, oh no, it's a young people's thing. And I said, a young people's thing? A wedding is a young people's thing? I thought wedding, everybody goes wedding. In my mind is that I'm bringing the elder people to the forefront as part of an exhibition. I got them to talk and recorded sound and thing of them talking so that I could bring in sound into the thing. That reflects on my earlier work of the Generation to Generation show, which looked on my parents' generation and our generation, how we may be seeing things different. And so I can say that it's not that I'm finding new things to do, it's just part of the things that make me up, you know. I've done a whole series of activists that I feel need to be celebrated. Winnie Mandela, after watching the movie Winnie Mandela. Marcus Garvey is always with me. Bob Marley is definitely influencing musically. I want to celebrate Bob Marley because he did put in a lot of work. Patrice Lumumba, again, I think it was through Shaka Dedi at the Black Art Gallery introduced me to Patrice Lumumba as an activist that we should know. And some of these activists I'm celebrating are people that didn't actually live to a decent age. Wangari Maathai, I only heard of her when she died. I thought, wow, she's such an important woman. Why haven't I heard of her? She was raising up the women's movement, and also she was an environmentalist, and she had created a plant a tree movement from the Kenyan base. You know, got women planting trees and taking care of our planet. So I did Walter Rodney, and then somebody asked, have you done an image of Thomas Sankara? And I said no, and I said, but I don't really know that much about it. And so then I start researching. I said, okay, I need to do this person because it's important. And again, I've done the image, and the following half year, I find that there's a movie out. The same thing happened with Walter Rodney, in that when I did the Walter Rodney piece, and somebody saw it and said, oh, we're just releasing this movie, can we use the Walter Rodney piece to publicise the movie? I said, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm calling it a coincidence, but it's time to write. One thing about the works though, is that the style in which I'm painting is that I'm bringing the paintings into a kind of modern kind of feel. I need to celebrate them and help their legacy live on, because it's what they were doing is still relevant today. In fact, more so, because we're supposed to know better. At this moment, how I'm looking at art is that art is a way of helping me understand life. It helps me to reason out things. It helps me to communicate with myself. It helps me communicate with other people. And hopefully that's other people can communicate with it and experience something through it as well. That's what my work is about. It's about a unity and a balance of all things.